Today the topic is the world between the wars, that is from the period of 1900 to 1950. This period of 50 years has brought drastic changes in the lives of the human beings. When we see the wars, what is the meaning of the word war? War is nothing but any issue which happened for conflict between two people. What is the meaning of the word conflict? War, because of conflict you get the issues of war. When the conflict is risen to the utmost level or to the peaks of conflict, it leads to the effect of war, which means that a country fighting with another country, a person fighting with another person, a group of nations fighting with other group of nations is known as world war. So when the world wars happen, all the countries in the world will get the impact of that. Getting the impact of war is called world wars. So now during the period of 1900 to 1950, the entire world has witnessed two great world wars. What are the reasons for this? What are the motivating forces of people to fight with each other? You know how many millions of people died? How much loss we got for the infrastructure? How many people were lost their hands, legs, all these things? These all factors happened in 1950. Not only this, they have many issues happened during this period of 50 years. That's why it is rightly remarked by Mr. Eric Hobson that this is the period of or the age of extremes. He called this one as the age of extremes, because during this period, means during the period of 1900 to 1950, we have seen the human beings achieving the great success which could not be achieved in a period of some 1900 years, was achieved in just a span of 50 years. The age of extremes, which the meaning itself, it shows that during this period of age or time or span, the extreme level, it went to the extreme power of things, of anything. For example, we don't know what is the meaning of the word atom. People, the scientists came to know what is the meaning of the word atom, what are the properties of atom, how to identify the parts of atoms. Like in science you might have learned like atom is the smallest particle of the earth's components. Next, coming to the other things, human life. Human life has seen many diseases, many outcomes, many changes in their life transition. Many extraordinary things came to evidence during the period of this period. So we came to know about the atom, we came to know about the life, we came to know about the new issues of power conflict. Power conflict. What is power conflict? Do we really mean that power conflicts are not there around before 1900? Yes, we have power conflicts. But the power conflicts was in so extreme that one nation people started to hate the other nation people and inculcated the feeling that instead of through negotiations, only by cutting their heads, only by killing them, only by destroying that nation, you get the power or control over them. That kind of ideology was developed during this period. And more than 50% of the population whom we are considering now, we are having women. Women came out of their traditional houses. Earlier women were restricted only to the kitchens, but today women are in the 50% of the dominant world of men. They are working literally, they are doing their household jobs, they are paid in the highest sectors, and many of the top companies are controlled by the women executives. This trend started from 1900 only. Many women came outside and started to do working also. These all concepts have brought dramatic change from the monarchy. The power of transition. You know what is the meaning of the word monarch? Monarch is nothing but a person or a king ruling a kingdom or a region or a place or a nation is called monarchy. Now from this, people got revolted against this. People started to revolt against this. People started to question the authority of monarchy. They denied the rights. They denied the right of monarch. Earlier we had a policy called divine right theory. Divine right theory. What is the meaning of this divine right theory? Divine meaning from God. Right. He had some issues on that, or he had some control on that theory, which means that king is the representative of the God. God cannot be here directly, so God has sent him as his representative to rule the people. This is the basic theme of the divine right theory. So monarchy was assumed on the title of the divine right theory. People started to question this issue. When did God appoint you? How did God appoint you? You are also a normal human being like us. Then how did you talk to God? Is really God there or not there? If God is there, who is the God? Who has appointed you? So they denied the divine right theory. They questioned the authority of monarchy. And the new concepts have developed. The new concept is democracy. You know what is the meaning of democracy? As Abraham Lincoln declared that democracy is nothing but is a form of government formed by the people who will form this one? Will they be coming from somewhere else? No, from within the people, means of the people then they are by the people, elected by the people, representatives of the people. What is their purpose of doing this? For the people. Which means that democracy by the people, of the people, for the people. Earlier we have a king or a monarchy who is getting his rights or hereditary issues from God, the divine right theory. But now people started to question that one, people started to deny that one, and came to the conclusion that democracy is a right form of government in some areas of the world or in some parts of the world. During the 19th century, the democracy has been the most excelled form of government or the best form of government according to the time span. So democracy is nothing but the leaders of the democratic governments are elected by the people, of the people, from within the people, and for the people, to serve the people, to look after the benefits of the people. Now, so we have seen monarchy has existed, democracy has existed in some corners. Now, coming to the other issue is that we got a new side, that is capitalism. Capitalism also came into existence. Capitalism means a group of people having or holding the entire thing and controlling the other rich people, other poor people who are present around them. Few rich people will have the entire nation under their control, or few people will be controlling the entire things. The other people will be having the other issues, or like poor people have to work in their industries, look after their industries, all this concept. We have equality concept in democracy, we have the non-equality concept in the capitalism, where we have the division of rich and the poor section of the people. During this period, in another corner of the world, we have the experimentation of the new form of the society also, that is socialism. Socialism is no rich, no poor, all are equal. No properties are owned by any individual. Everything is owned by the society itself. Everything is run by the government itself, taken care by the government itself. The jobs should be done by the people, salaries will be paid by the government. We have one set of ideology, that is democracy, the people those denied the monarchy. Then we have another set of ideology, that is capitalism. Then we have the new concept of socialism. During this all are going on, the world has experienced 2 world wars. You know what are world wars? The world wars are the wars which are fought between 2 nations or between 2 group of nations, but the influence is felt all over the globe. Did you get the point here? The wars which are fought between 2 nations directly or 2 group of nations directly, but the influence is felt in the entire parts of the world or in the entire globe. Now the two world wars happened, that is the period is from 1914 to 1918, this is the first world war. The second world war happened from 1939 to 1945. So like this the two world wars were fought. When these two world wars are being fought, in the middle again a historical incident happened, that is the world which has never seen or experienced or thought of such kind of things, that is the Great Depression. What is Great Depression? We are not discussing about any cyclones or the effects of cyclones here. Great Depression means the depreciation of the value of money. What is the meaning of depreciation? For example, you buy a bike. After some years, the value of the bike will become less, which means that the value of bike got depreciated. For example, you bought the bike for 50,000 and after 1 year you want to sell it, you may expect it to get for 40,000 or 35,000. Means the value from 50,000 to 35,000 it got depreciated. This is the meaning, the percentage of reduce is called depreciation, or the level of getting down is called depreciation. Now, Great Depreciation, the value of money became very less when compared to the currencies here. So the Great Depreciation happened in the year 1929. So the world during this period experienced very extreme phases of everything. During the Great Depreciation, you won't believe, to buy vegetables they have to take money in the bullock carts and go and buy it and come. In the carts they have to carry money and buy it and come. And to give salaries for the workers, in trains they should take money to distribute the work of the people with their wages and come. So like that the situation was there in the Great Depression period of 1929 to 1933. Now this is the reason why Eric Hobson has extremely perfectly termed the word that age of extremism, age of extremes. He has seen the science, the atom of knowledge of atom has acquired, the life skills were learned, the life pattern was learned, the power conflicts have arose, women has given the start to universal adult franchise or the writing vote system, who are constituting 50%, the monarchy rights were denied, the divine right theory was questioned, then the democracy was brought into existence, which has seen its excellence. Like many of nearly 100 countries have rallied and many countries got independence during this period. Then we have seen the two different ideologies of capitalism and socialism getting into existence and getting into success. Then we have seen the two world wars which are existing for us from 1914 to 1918, then from 1939 to 1945. Then we have seen the Great Depression which happened from 1929. So these all happened just in a span of 50 years. That is the reason why world has been very crucial during this period of 50 years. That is the reason why Hobsbawm or Hobson has extremely presented his perfect view, saying the word like it is the age of extremes. These are the points which he had made in his introduction of the 19th century. Through his points, he made some valuable contribution for us to understand the span of 50 years. Now we have seen what is happening in the world wars, like Eric explaining about the age of extremes, what are the conditions, what are the issues, that all we have gone through it. Now what is the effects of wars? What are the effects of our world wars? What happened because of wars? Why should we study seriously about these wars? Is it necessary for us to study which happened for us from 1900 to 1950? Do you think is it necessary for us? What are the interesting facts about them? Or what are the astonishing facts which happened for us during this period? Let us see here. When the war has happened, generally we don't expect, or like generally we expect like some 1 lakh people died or 2 lakh people died. But the original facts of, voluminous facts of the wars are very tragic. You have to understand them very clearly, because during the wars period, the West countries, you know, the Western countries starts with USA, UK, France are the main key countries other countries are Russia, played a vital role in the world wars. For them, the another opposite group is there. The other group is Germany, Austria, Italy. These are well advanced countries from 19th century. These are the countries which got independence in the later part of the 19th century. Now these countries started or got influenced by the industrial revolution. You know what is industrial revolution? The industrial revolution is nothing but the change of man-made goods into machinery goods is called as industrial revolution. That is nothing but earlier man used to do all things. From man it has changed into machines. So change of man-made goods products into machine-made products is called industrial revolution. Now USA, UK, France and Russia have experienced, like Russia in the later part they got it. USA, UK, France have experienced the industrial revolution and they have their resources. They started to exploit the other countries which are the colonial countries of Asia, Africa, have experienced the colonial power. These countries started to rule these countries, the group of these countries. India also was part of Britain and many of the African countries were the colonial countries of these countries which are controlled them. Now these countries which got independence after the 19th century, later part of the 19th century, these countries also want to have a control on the colonial masters of like these countries, and they also want to occupy many group of other countries and they want to redraw the boundaries of the world map. The issue is that these are already ruling. These people also want to rule and develop a counter for this, develop an anti-fighting agent system against them. They also want to question the authority of these people. This resulted into the wars like World War I, that is from 1914 to 18. The World War I has seen the world into a serious extreme level of intensity. Ever since the world has seen this, World War I was a war for the first time where the bombs were used from the helicopters or the aeroplanes to throw on the people. So you can understand the imagination. What are the negative effects or what happened during the war or after the war, what happened? The war was fought for nearly 4 years. To calculate the loss happened in the world war, it took nearly 6 months for us. So you can understand that 6 months, literally 180 days, a team of experts studied continuously what are the loss we caused because of this. And why we call it as a world war is, no country in Asia, Europe, Africa or in Australia was turned or left unturned towards the influence of the war. Maybe 3 countries here, 4 countries here have participated in the war directly, but the influence has been felt all over the world or all over the globe. So that is the influence what we are having here. And coming to the loss of people, as per the able estimations or the available estimations, what we have is nearly 10 million soldiers or people are found dead. The dead bodies are available for us as per the availability of the dead bodies, and nearly 6.5 million people condition was horrible. They lost their eyes, they lost their ears, some of them became mentally upset, some of them lost their hands, some of them lost their fingers, some of them lost their legs, some of them lost their leg fingers, and they were become wounded literally and led to the horrible condition for them. And the other people, we have nearly 6 million people found missing. Are they dead? Are they alive? If they are alive, where are they? Are they surviving? Are they in a good condition? Are they captured by the negative country armies? What is the condition going on for them? Are they torturing them? Are these people able to enjoy their life properly? Are they alive properly or not? Are they in the living condition or not? What are their conditions? We don't have any idea about these 6 million people, what happened for them. So these are the rough idea for World War I effects and impacts for us. The major change what happened is, like the King of Germany, Mr. Kaiser, lost the war and was made responsible for the World War, and he flew away from there to Holland in order to save his life. This was one of the major achievement of the people, or like a disaster which happened for the German people, that king has left the country and ran away from there. Literally it is meaning that he ran away from there. So like that, the omnivorous facts of wars are like very dangerous or very astonishing for us. See here, the West developed very much, the East, Middle East growing countries started to question them. Then we got the Industrial Revolution, why the West got developed, automatically the influence felt on the people. They want to draw the boundaries of all the colonial master countries, which led for them to get into conflicts, which resulted in the World War I. The World War I has brought various changes, and every country fought for nearly 4 years continuously, and to calculate or estimate the loss only, it took 6 months for us. And then in that calculations we came to know the available loss of men or people is 10 million people or soldiers have passed away, 6.5 million are already wounded or lost their body parts and physically disabled, and 6 million people are missing. Kaiser William left the Germany, who was found guilty of the World War I, and ran away from his own country and took shelter in Holland. Like this, there are various reasons which happened in the World War I, and these all are the real facts which happened for us. Coming to the estimation of the economic calculations, we have many doubts on this, and we can't say exactly how much loss we have got, or till now we are not able to compute the economic loss. Now in the world wars, we shall discuss about how many people literally died in the World War I we have seen. Now let us see what is the death and destruction which was happened, the death and the destruction which has happened after World War II. In the World War II, it is estimated roughly that in World War I we have seen nearly 10 million people were dead. In World War II, it is estimated, it is not clear for us, that nearly 22 to 25 million people were killed, soldiers were killed. So it shows that nearly 22 to 25 million people, in the sense like 25 into 10 lakhs, that is equal to 2.5 crore people were found dead on the roads or on the fields. What would be the condition of the people that time? Imagine the situation that suppose one person dies, we clear that body within a day or two with the proper care. 2.5 crore dead bodies were laid down on the way, and imagine how did they clear those all things. In every nation, every corner of the world, you find people who are already dead and you find people who are already injured. What would be the condition of the people, those who are alive? Definitely it would trigger to the rise of the medical issues. It would trigger to the rise of the diseases. Naturally, because dead bodies will smell for us, from that we get the diseases. Those who are surviving also will get various kinds of the diseases for us. So this is one of the major factors which happened during the World War II. The number of people died officially according to the attacks. Next one, because of the great Hitler, nearly 6 million Jews. Jews are the people whom our Adolf Hitler hated the most. In Germany, he had a special camps called training camps or guerrilla warfare camps, where are the extinct camps. The people of the Jews were targeted, taken away from their houses and kept there and tortured literally and killed without giving any food for them to drink or eat. That is the ideology here. The Holocaust happened during this period at a severe state, and the Holocaust led 6 million people of Jews officially were killed, and we don't have a clear idea that how many people were killed, or like how many were hidden or killed without knowing to the knowledge of the world. We can't expect the ideology also. And coming to the actual happenings of Germany, other than this is in the only soldiers we calculated, this is the Jews we calculated. Coming to the people, how many people did they kill? Literally 40 to 52 million people lost their lives. 40 to 52 million people lost their lives. So like that we have many people who lost their lives. I think you can understand the ideology of 40 to 52 million people getting died. 40 million people in the sense 40 crores. 52 means 52 crores. You can understand the calculations here. And in the Second World War, before the Second World War comes to end, the Americans people have dropped 2 dangerous bombs on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The 2 atom bombs, one is on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which were launched in 1945, before the war comes to end in the month of August. The first bomb was launched on August 6th, the second bomb was launched on August 9th. When they launched these bombs and it was executed and the people died, immediately as soon as the bombs were dropped and started to impact, the number of people died is 1.5 lakhs to 2.46 lakh people were spotted. Immediately as soon as they dropped the bombs and bomb started to spread down and blast it, immediately 2.5 lakh people lost their lives, leaving the impact on the land, on the water, on the underground layers of the water, on the buildings, destruction of the buildings. These all leaving apart, only the people who died here are 2.5 lakh people. So this is one of the dangerous things which happened here. And once after the bomb was dropped here, it triggered some new issues to develop. Till now the world has not witnessed or seen any such kind of things or issues. That is, we got the new disease, that is leukemia. The leukemia, and later which we got is cancer. For several decades, that is more another 30-40 years, the scientists have struggled hard to solve the issue of leukemia or the cancer, because many people were exposed to the bomb blast and it led to various kinds of diseases for them, and till now people have not seen this kind of things. There is no treatment available for them in the hospitals, which many of the people lost after the war has been come to end also. And these all are triggered or caused because of the 2 major points, that is the power blocks. In the world we have 2 power blocks when during the period of the World War I and II. We have seen this many people lost, various reasons are there, like for example 25 million people were triggered directly, soldiers, then the Jews, then we have the normal people getting the impact, then we have because of the bomb immediate effect of Hiroshima, Nagasaki on the 1945 August 6th and 9th, then we have the diseases coming like leukemia and cancer. All these things were led or brought because of the 2 power blocks what we are having. The 2 power blocks are ruled by, one is the block which is German block, in which Germany is a member. The other one is the opposite block of this, that is the West block. For this we have the official names. It is called Axis power, Allied powers. The Axis powers and the Allied powers. The Allied powers and the Axis powers are also having some agreements between the group of the nations, that is called Triple Alliance and triple entente. Triple means 3, alliance means group, 3 country group A, 3 triple entente, another group which is working opposite to the alliance group, that is triple entente group, to break the bond of these 3 people. So these 3 people versus these 3 people, we have 2 power blocks which could be the main reasons or the basic main reasons for this natural disaster which was created by man himself because of his greediness. Now to understand the concepts very clearly, we have to compare the world wars. That is, like, to understand everything, you have to take World War I and World War II. If you compare and study and get the analysis, you get the exact reasons of both the wars. Instead of studying each war in detail, this war is fought during one period, that war is fought during another period. Yes, we can study it in detail. If you study it in detail, you may think it is two different issues. Yes, they are two different issues, but the tragedy is relating to the same thing. At the end of the day, human beings are the people who are influenced more or impacted more because of this one. So coming to the exit level or the extent of this, to understand clearly or get better idea of this, if you compare these two, World War I and World War II, you get the clarity what happened in World War I, what happened in World War II, what are the reasons which are behind them, what are the factors which led for them to fight against each other, what are the common similarities, what are the common dissimilarities. Yes, there is a lot of difference because this was fought in the early century of 20th, that was fought in the middle century of the 20th, it was in 1920s, it was in 1940s. There is a lot of difference. There are some specific issues which are completely different from each other, but it has to be taken into consideration that both are wars, both are fought between the two power blocks of the same groups, and finally the same person defeats in First World War, again gets defeated in the Second World War. So what did that made him to turn into the Second World War already who was defeated in the First World War? These all points we will discuss, see here in the next frame. For any conflict, see here, which leads to war, there could be two types of reasons. See, generally as soon as we see people, we don't go and fight with them. Suppose if I have any personal issue or grudge with them, and which is catalyzed with some other issue at that moment of time, then I get motivated, go and attack somebody or do something. So general reasons are there and specific reasons are there for any issue. So for a conflict or war, we will have two types of reasons. The first one is general, second one is immediate. The general reasons will be the base reasons for get any issue to be diverted. The immediate reason is like a issue which rises all the general things automatically gets bounded up because of this. It is like a solution in which a chemical is added for that, then you get the bulge output or it gets pounded out. So it is like a catalyst. It is like because of this they are forced to take some action against the others. That is the immediate reason and some general reasons. So for our world wars also, the World War I and World War II, also we have the same category of the reasons. Let us see first what are the immediate reasons that we have for World War I first one. See, the immediate reason for World War I is the Archduke King of Austria went to Serbia on an official trip. Francis went to Serbia with his wife named Sophia on an official trip. He went there, who is the natural heir of Austria, means the person who is going to be the king of Austria went here to get some official visit. He went on his personal works. Then on the official visit, when he went with his family, he was attacked by the fanatics of Bosnian Serb. Bosnia is the name of a region which was controlled by Austria. There are some Balkan states or peninsular regions which are controlled by Austria. Some of the group people who revolted against the king wanted to teach a lesson to him, so they revolted the ruling system, what is happening in the Balkan politics. They killed the ruler Frank and his wife Sofia, literally and very brutally they were killed. When they were killed very brutally during this period, the Austrian government served the ultimatum for Serbia. This incident happened on 28th June 1914. The Serbian government does not have any idea of the people who have done this incident. So now Austrian government thought that Serbia is supporting the people of Bosnians to do war against them. Because of this misunderstanding of Austrian government against Serbia, they served the ultimatum that they have to respond within 48 hours. If not, we are going to take action against the issue, or we are going to attack the nation. Serbia, instead of giving answer, as they were backed by the other nations, they revolted to respond to this one. So immediately the World War I was declared by Austria against Serbia. So in support of Serbia, we got the hand of Russia. Then in support of this we got France. In support of the other side we got the Britain. While in support of Austria we got Germany, Italy. So here we got one group, there we got one group. The issue became a international issue now. We can't stop the war. The war went on to a serious level. So this is the catalytic reason or the main reason which triggered the World War I, which was fought for nearly 4 years and which was a drastic war which the human mankind has ever seen until this period. So it raised to various issues and questions of during this period. And what is the basic or immediate reason for World War II? See here, for World War I, it is a reason, a solid reason. For World War II, by the time the ruler of Germany was Hitler. Ruler of Germany was Hitler. And the Germany was divided into two parts. Germany was divided into two parts. In the middle, the region is called as Polish corridor. Understand the point clearly here. Germany was ruled by Hitler during that period, and Germany was divided into two parts. The middle region was called Polish corridor, means this is the cut face key division between the two parts of Germany. Germany is East Germany and West Germany. Middle we have a land piece or Danzig called the Polish corridor, controlled by Poland. Hitler wanted to annex this Polish corridor and interlink East Germany and West Germany together and form a new boundary for Germany. At the same time, he thought it would be a small expansion of his foreign policy and military policy. This is the basic blunder what Hitler has thought, that it would be a very small military expansion as per his calculations. Yes, military or economically he is very strong. He is capable of fighting the war at that moment. Right? This incident happened on 1939. As soon as Hitler started to attack the Poland or the Polish corridor, England supported the Poland to resist against that, and immediately we got the support of Russia backing Poland. and questioning the authority of Hitler. So in order to sustain this, and as he had tie-ups with the Germany and Italy and all these nations, these people came in support of Germany to sustain the war. So automatically again we got on 1st September the issue was declared into war. The catalytic force or the main reason for the establishment of Second World War is the Hitler invading Polish corridor. The First World War is Austria giving ultimatum for Serbia on the issue of Archduke Francis, who was murdered. So these two were the main issues which generated the wars of World War I and World War II. Now let us see the other issues which have brought these things. What are the binding forces that made them to go for this World War? See, we have two groups here. Again, two groups here. What are the two groups called? The Axis powers, Allied powers. Now, when Germany got independence in 1879, who got independence? Germany. Same time we got independence for Italy also, and partially Austria also was independent. So to check the growth of Italy falling into the hands of France and to control England's influence in the middle region, Germany agreed to make agreements with these two or secret agreements with these two and came with a triple alliance, which was founded in 1879 to 1882. Then within few days, England broke down its barriers and came friendship with Russia, and USA formed the triple entente. So naturally we got two power blocks rising as per their nationalism inspirations. See here, as soon as Germany became independent and Italy became independent, they started to block the other nations getting influenced by the already well developed nations like France. So now here they want to check the growth of England and France, and here they want to check the growth of the German nation. So this block is automatically working against the other blocks. The enmity of one nation with the other nation added on or bounded on again and again and became the reason for the formation of the secret alliance or secret groups for having military pacts between them. And other than this, we have the another major force which is working for them is the aggressive nationalism. The aggressive nationalism means that the countries which are like Germany, Italy have fought many wars to become united. They automatically generated themselves to feel that that particular nation people are superior when compared to the other particular nation people. We started to feel that they started to get the idea that we are of the blue race people. We have to feel that we are superior than the others. If you don't feel like that, we feel that we are inferior than others. And they feel that only their country should be the superpower country. Their country should be the ruling country. This kind of ideology was developed very keenly in the Germans by Hitler, and Mussolini has did the same with the Italy people and made them so fanatic of their nation that they are compulsorily and forcefully made to follow certain rules and regulations and devote themselves for the nationalism. This is the concept of aggressive nationalism. Because of the ideology that every child is motivated from the childhood to get that he is superior, the other country people are inferior, and if you fight any war with anybody, you only has to win. So this kind of ideology was brought into the people, and from people it was brought into the families, from families it was brought into the nation and society, and it led to the various interlinkage of the people, and people got the ideology that instead of sitting and talking for any solution, better to do wars. If you do wars, who is victorious, that fellow will be considered as the leader of the nation. Instead of sitting and solving the disputes peacefully, everybody started to indulge themselves into the wars. This also could be one of the reasons war has been provoked by the various other people. Now, one of the basic reasons which led for the world wars, like which are the constructive reasons what we are analyzing now, is the imperialism. What is the meaning of the word imperialism? Dr. Lenin has rightly mentioned in his book that the highest stage of capitalism is imperialism. What is the meaning of this? The highest stage of capitalism is imperialism. Capitalism means investment, doing investment on industry and making or forcing the employees to work for them. Now coming to here, the highest stage of investment is done by the people in imperialism, which means that the nations which are highly advanced like UK, Britain, France, Russia, all these countries are investing on the work or the raw materials of the undeveloped nations. These undeveloped nations which are in Asia and in Africa are getting influenced by them. These people are supplying raw materials for them, and we are getting the development in their industries. These people are turned into slaves. Those people are becoming richer and richer. That's why he mentioned this stage as the highest stage of capitalism. Now, because of imperialism, how did we get the world wars? As we discussed in the previous point itself, we have the concept of aggressive nationalism. When aggressive nationalism we have discussed, we came to know that there are again two groups here. There is secret alliance which is forming here. The main countries which are having the aggressive part of their nation is Britain, France. Opposite to this, the same two countries are having the same amount of aggression towards their nationalism, that is Germany, Italy. So now these two countries feel that they are supreme because they are experiencing the imperialism. They are controlling another group of nations in Asia and Africa. They are holding the strong economies. By the early part of the 19th century, they are controlling the largest countries like India and many of the other countries in Asia. So they are feeling like this, and their people are superior than the other people. The countries which got recently independence want to have a counter check on the Britain, and they want to redraw the map, and they also want to have control on the colonial countries, and they also want to become the masters. They also want to be superior. So these two factors led them to fight in the context of imperialism. Imperialism is nothing but a country occupying the another country and exhausting the resources, especially the raw materials, at very less cost, which are available for us, and make them at very high cost. In their industries they are using it and bringing that into the same level and selling it for the market and making the product. So they are taking raw materials from here, making in their industries to work it and bring that one back and sell it in the market here. This is nothing but they are taking their own goods, taking to the manufacturing points, bringing them back and selling it at very less price, which is nothing but their own products they are taking and they are selling for them only at very less cost. Only thing is they are getting the machinery done at very less things. Their machinery is utilized properly. So like that they are controlling many nations, and they got the point of this conflict of aggressive nationalism. because of aggressive nationalism what they are having here, which led them to go towards the imperialism of one particular group. To check the imperialism of one particular group, the other group also raised it to occupy the countries. So when a particular nation has to be occupied by both the people, this led to the conflict of the region, and both of them fought directly or indirectly the wars. Then the issue of world war concept has been developed. To check and the counter check of the growth, the issues has been developed here. Now we also came to know that they are having secret alliance. Coming to the secret alliance led to the growth of something else. Now secret alliance means we have groups like Germany, Italy and Austria. Germany, Italy, Austria as a team members. The other team members are Britain, France. What is the other team member? Russia. These three became the other group. This is triple alliance group, this is triple entente group. This group is counter to this group is counter to this group. This is one team, this is one team. How do we conduct the cricket matches? Like one team versus the other team. So this group is checking this group's activities, this group people are fighting with the other group activities. This brought the new issue of the conflicts again, and they are having the military sharing also. If suppose Austria is attacked by some nation of any of this group, Germany and Italy will come and rescue them, rescue Austria and fight war against a particular nation which is coming against them. The same with the case here. Suppose France is attacked by some nation of this group, Britain and Russia will come to rescue France and attack this group. So like that they made an agreement between each other, and they are started to move forward in an extreme massive growth of military. In the next two massive growth of German military, Italian military, Austrian military, Britain military, France military and the Russian military. This led to the growth of militarianism. A careful study was made on the growth of this, that earlier 132 million amount of currency was spent in acquiring or buying or the payment of the soldiers or all these things, especially on the army. It was made 397 millions, nearly 300%. Imagine the growth rate of the money spent on to buy weapons and wars. See, any investment if you do on any industry or agriculture or on anything else, you can get back it, or you are beneficial for that. Even if you build a house, you can sell the house, you will get it. But the investment which is done on the military, and if you buy bombs and weapons, and once if you use them, you can't get back anything, but you are going to get loss for both you and the party for what you are going to use it. So this is the, like many of the economists feel like this is not a good investment, or it should not be towards the growth rate. It is like an anti-growth rate investment what we are doing it. But many nations have went for 300% of investment, growth of the 300% of investment than the regular investment what they do on the investment of wars. So like that, these factors are some of the key factors which motivated, or the basic factors behind the world wars. We have seen the aggressive nationalism, imperialism, militarianism, and we have seen the secret alliance. All these things are the major things which are behind the world war's immediate reasons. We also have discussed the immediate reasons of World War I, that is, the Archduke was attacked by the Bosnian Serb and was asked to serve an ultimatum, where the Bosnians were rejected for that, and Austria declared war on Serbia, which led to the war here in the World War I incident. In the World War II incident, Hitler wanted to attack the Polish corridor and occupy the land, because it is a division between East Germany and West Germany. He thought it would be a very small expansion plan and called for the nations that he is an aggressive person, but instead it became a very costly thing that he has to lose his life as well as the entire nation, and he became completely lost and defeated completely in the hands of the allied powers. So like that we have various issues which triggered. These are the two basic reasons, and we have the immediate effects of the reasons. These are the factors which we are going to discuss in the World War I and II. The Treaty of Versailles. See, the world has never seen such kind of treaty at all. Why we say that world has never seen such kind of treaty at all is, the Treaty of Versailles is a treaty which was made drastically on one-sided edge. It is in this treaty, it was actually, this treaty was done in 1919. This treaty was done, composed in the year 1919 after the First World War. The person who, or the nation which was made the main reason of the war was Germany. Germany was the only country which is responsible for the World War I. This is the reason put down by the group of nations who conducted or made the Treaty of Versailles. Who conducted the Treaty of Versailles? The five major powers. Conducted the Treaty of Versailles, that is US, UK, France, then we have Italy and Japan. So these five nations are representing a large proportion of the colonial master group, and they have imposed Germany as a diktat. It means like a dictated point that Germany has to follow this. Germany is the main reason which has done of this. Germany has to give off all her colonies which are till 1880, after whatever the colonies that Germany has occupied should be handed over back. Then Alaska and Lorraine has to be given back to France, which were taken by Germany, and the army from 9 lakhs has to be reduced to 1 lakh. Later, we should not maintain more than boats of 12, and at the same time your navy should not increase more than 10,000 plus few boats. And for next 13 years their natural resources are given to France, Italy and UK to get them exploited, to get their share of the loss which they got. So it is a treaty. When we come to a peace treaty, we have to discuss address the issues which are happened between them. What are the consequences, what are the positives, what are the negatives, what would be the further step that will not address any other future wars. But the Treaty of Versailles is considered as a seed for the Second World War. Why means, analyze it clearly, it was drawn up in 1919, declared only Germany was the reason for the World War I. Then the five major powers of US, UK, France, Italy and Japan came together and imposed this treaty against Germany by taking away all her wings, cutting away all her feathers. The colonies which are occupied after 1918 were taken away back. Alaska and Lorraine were handed over to France. The army, which is very strong army of Germany, from 9 lakhs it was reduced to 1 lakh. The boats capacity was reduced, the naval capacity was reduced, and for 13 years they were asked to pay the war indemnity amount. War indemnity amount. It is nothing but the war loss amount the Germany has to pay for these five big power nations. Do you think is it a right treaty? It is not a right treaty. And after this treaty was formulated, we got the setup of an international organization called League of Nations. This treaty is considered as one of the seeds for Second World War. The League of Nations was set up with an intention of Woodrow Wilson with the collective security concept, then all major countries participated. 58 countries were there. The key man who brought this one was Roosevelt, and by the time of Roosevelt period, it was with Woodrow Wilson's ideology to have a collective League of Nations. Roosevelt executed this one and got the concept of League of Nations, but in this we have a negative point, is that Germany or Russia were not made as members of the League of Nations. If they are not made as members of the League of Nations, then how can you say that it is a collective security which we are going to provide for them? Even though ideology of Woodrow Wilson was very good, or Roosevelt has come with a good intention to do this one. Now what are the points that they are going to cover here? See, League of Nations is a group of people or big nations which come together and form the major powers. These 5 countries are going to be the key member nations to address any issue which is going to happen in the wars or any kind of incidents, and no further future wars are going to happen for us in any kind of situation. These countries are going to solve the issues and get them a better result without going or resolving into any war. Now once this was done, and League of Nations not only did only the political issues, they also concentrated on the health, administration, then medical, labor, international, court of justice, the League of Nations was not set up only with the ideology of political issues, but health diseases which have triggered after the World War I has to be assessed very clearly. And Japan, where the World War I has brought leukemia and the bomb blast happened and these things, they started to bring some solution for this one for smallpox, which was recently developed. The health issues were addressed. Administration of the countries which the colonies were taken over from the Britain were handed over to League of Nations to look after them properly and provide democratic setup for them under the guidance of these 5 major powers. Then we got the medical help if necessary for the colonial countries. If they are suffering with any diseases, they are going to provide for them. Then labor laws were calculated and formulated. A specific period of time was to be done basing on the Russian revolt. They got this ideology of this. And then International Court of Justice was made. If any disputes are arising between one country to another country, they can move on to the International Court of Justice and get their issues addressed instead of going to any wars. Like this, they have set up the Treaty of Versailles, which is a disaster, or which is like cutting down all the feathers of Germany. This is one key factor development after the World War I. The other major factor which development was a positive trend was the League of Nations, which was brought with the collective security and addressing many other issues. But coming to the failures of the League of Nations, the League of Nations was successful to a larger extent. It failed in stopping 2 nations, that is Germany and Italy, in their expansion policy, because Germany is not a member of League of Nations. Italy resigned from its membership of League of Nations, and both of them started to do the aggressive nationalism and turned into the diplomats or aggressive militarism attacks and occupied the other nations, which was against the basic norm of the League of Nations. And this is the major factor which guided them towards the World War II.